So I just got the Sony a6500, and today's vlog is going to be kind of a real world test of how this works for vlogging. I'm going to be shooting with the Sony 10 to 18 millimeter lens, and for audio, the Rode Video Micro. Alright, let's get started.
This is a journey into sound.
Yeah. So, the main reason why I got the a6500 is I wanted a camera that was geared more towards filmmaking, but at the same time I also wanted it for vlogging and making videos like this. So, first things first, I already feel like I have a little bit of buyer's remorse just for the fact that the a6500 doesn't have a flip out screen. Framing my shot becomes, I don't know, a little bit, becomes more of a chore because now I have to go around to this side and like this and then pretend my face is there, and I have to remember like to put my face in. That sucks. But I do like how small and compact the whole setup is. That is pretty small. It's weatherproof. I'm sorry, not weatherproof, weather sealed. And overall, just very mobile. Hey, what's up, bro? Good, how are you? Great. How's family life? I often find myself at grocery stores and the lighting here is really horrible. So this is the grocery store test. Yeah, it's like mixed and coming at you from all different angles. Really not the best lighting. Okay, seeing the LCD in bright sunlight is impossible. It's ridiculous. And I'm really still bugged by the fact there's no articulating LCD screen. That's really helpful to have that. This is what I've been shooting with for the past 2 years, the Canon 80D. Right now I'm filming with the 80D, and this flip out screen, super useful. The problem is, neither the 70D or the 80D shoot in 4K. Now, I don't normally upload in 4K, especially not the vlogs, but with 4K, it's really nice having that extra resolution. If you want to crop or do any camera moves like panning and zooming. If you try to do that with a 1080p camera like the Canon 80D or 70D, you're gonna lose a lot of image quality. Today is Kylie's field day.
Walking around.
Are you having fun? Yeah? Better than being in class?
Yeah, but it's really hot out here.
Yeah, it is. It's about 90 degrees today, which is crazy because last week it was struggling to hit 50. Okay, have fun. So you're probably wondering why I didn't go with something like the Lumix GH5. By the way, I couldn't do that with the a6500 because it doesn't have a flip out screen and you can't really. Anyway, the GH5 costs $2,000 for just the body, and then I would need the wide angle lens, and it was way over my budget. So the next thing I guess you're wondering is why didn't I go with something like the G7 or the G85? I actually have the Lumix G7, and I was really interested in G85, but it doesn't have 120p slow-mo. you can do slow-mo with 60p, which the 80D has, and also the G7 or G85. I can't remember if G7 has it or not. But with 120p, it's just smooth like butter.
Ew, don't say that.
It's just really smooth, like my hair.
Stop. Like, say it's really smooth. Like Alyssa sliding into Ethan Dillon's DMs.
Okay, it's really
This
nice.
is a journey into sound.
When I started this time-lapse sequence, I had about 60% battery life. Now I am down to 24%. The battery on this camera, and that's one thing I absolutely loved about the 80D and 70D. The battery life on them, amazing. I could get through probably a whole day of filming before I had to switch out, and that's with time lapses and everything. With the a6500, you're gonna have to buy a bunch of batteries, and the Sony batteries are 50 bucks a pop. These generic ones that after a while they just start to lose life. For a set of 2 of these, which comes with this charger, by the way, you're gonna need to buy a separate charger because the a6500 doesn't come with one. For a set of 2 of these was 40 bucks, so 20 bucks a pop. I'm figuring I'll need at least 4 of them to get through a whole day of vlogging. For some of you, you're probably thinking, that's no problem, I'll just carry a bunch of extra batteries. Well, my issue is that when you're recording, say like a wedding, and you're in the middle of a ceremony, and the ceremony's an hour long, you might have to change batteries in the middle of recording, and switching batteries during important moments like that, big no-no. You can miss really important moments like, you know, the I do. So be aware that as you're recording, you might have to make sure you have a fresh battery in before you actually start. So one of the big things that made me interested in the a6500 is the in-body stabilization coupled with the OSS built into the lens itself. Apparently, it's really good. We're gonna compare it using this dual camera rig. Canon doesn't actually have in-body stabilization, only in the lens. So we'll see how they stack up against each other. You ready to go? We're gonna go. We're gonna do a Walmart run.
Walmart run.
Walmart run. Let's go.
Whoa! Now go watch my video.
I did show you guys a little bit earlier the stabilization of the a6500, but I was holding the actual camera. Now I'm holding this rig, which is attached to my GorillaPod. So just the GorillaPod itself is going to add a little bit of extra stableness. And also, when you're filming with a wide-angle lens, the wide angle sort of negates a little bit of shake. So that definitely helps. And I've never really had any issue with the Canon. The Canon's always been really good with a stable image.
My turn.
Go ahead. She's vlogging too.
At least nobody from school will be here.
So how do you know? Maybe you're not the only one that's skipping school.
Yeah, but why would they come to Walmart?
Outside the door.
Same reason why you're here at Walmart.
But they don't have dance recitals.
Tonight is the first. Tonight is opening. I'm just trying to think. Tonight is tonight is opening night of Tour de Force, and we're getting some supplies.
Where are we going?
Or she's getting some supplies. I'm testing cameras.
Oh my gosh, Harry Potter balloons.
Okay, go this way.
Look, Dad.
What?
Can I get one for Kylie?
There you go.
This is her present.
So I am trying to walk a little bit smoother, just so the footage.
I love eating graham crackers.
We can't, no, that's not a good snack.
Come on.
Now this! That's a good snack.
Are you serious?
No, I'm just kidding. I am kind of getting used to the lack of a flip out LCD screen. I don't know if this is positive, but it actually forces me to look in the camera when I don't have an LCD screen, where with the 80D, I have a tendency to look,
oh my gosh, I love
or at least glance over the side, and you know, but you know, I can do the Casey Neistat and put the sunglasses on, but then I get accused of copying Casey Neistat. What? Oh, nuts are good.
We're gonna get cashews and almonds, but Mom gets the organic kind, and we need to go the organic aisle.
Organic aisle. And we're done. By the way, I don't know if you guys noticed, but apparently the A6500 has really bad rolling shutter when you record in 4K. If you're recording while you're in like a car or something, or if you do a swish pan, you can really see it. Could you see that? I don't know, I can never really tell when there's rolling shutter, so it doesn't really bother me all that much, but for some people it does, so just keep that in mind. Anyway, I'm home now and I reviewed all the footage from my Walmart excursion, and to be honest, there isn't a whole lot of difference between the Sony and the Canon. Like I said earlier, in general, if a wide-angle lens is going to negate a lot of shake anyway, but apparently it does work really well when you're using like a longer lens. So let's test that out. I have this 135mm Rockcore lens, no stabilization in this at all, so we'll see how well that in-body stabilization works with one of these. So this is a 135mm, and on a crop sensor it's something like, I don't know, like 200mm. So it's going to really exaggerate any little bit of shake, and hopefully the IBS is compensating for that. I just realized there is a steady shot setting where you set the focal length of the lens you're using. The default was set to like 8mm or something like that, and I switched it to 135, and now I am just holding the camera with two hands, elbows locked in at my sides, and it looks like it's stabilized pretty well. So we know Sony's 5-axis stabilizer works really well with these old unstabilized lenses. However, I just found out that if the lens has stabilization on it, that takes over and it doesn't even use the camera's in-body stabilization. So unlike the Lumix GH5 and G85, there's no dual stabilization, which is kind of a bummer. But if you really want a stabilized image, you want to use a gimbal, and although the Canon 80D and 70D do work on this gimbal, it's kind of heavy. The whole rig is really just cumbersome, especially with a mic on top. So the 6500, much smaller, and I can use the Video Mic Pro, which is a much smaller mic than the than this. So let's head to my daughter's dance show. We'll test the gimbal and also low light capabilities of the A6500.
1, 2, 3, sparkle! My hair. Look at me. You have my blue one?
It's so sparkly.
Yeah. I stood on my tiptoes. And I feel like if I couldn't live up to it, I'm kind of sad.
So I have extensively tested the video capabilities of the A6500 all weekend, and without a doubt it does have an amazing image quality. I mean, you saw the footage. It's really nice, even in low light. Still, my only gripe is the battery life, but I have an idea that we might be able to work around that issue. The next thing I want to test is the photo capabilities. I'm looking for a camera that can also serve as something that I can use to take along with me when I'm traveling, and maybe even use to shoot weddings with. Ideally, what I'd like to do is replace a couple of my Canon cameras. The only thing is I don't have any Sony lenses. I only have Canon lenses, and so today I'm going to be using one of these vintage lenses that I had left over from my old Sony bodies, and I'm going to be shooting manual, so we'll see how the focus peaking works, and we'll see what kind of still images it produces. The only thing I need is a model. There we go. All right, this is Maddie. My regular followers will recognize her. I shoot a lot with her, so let's see what this thing can do. There's one thing that I found in common with all the people that tested the A6500, and that's the still images. They're just really good. Even the JPEGs, right from the camera, the skin tones look great, very vibrant, nice colors. Personally, I've been finding myself exporting from the camera and uploading directly to Facebook and Instagram, maybe throwing on a filter. So that's a nice bonus. Dynamic range of the RAW files, as good, if not better than my Canon 5D Mark IIs. Now, as far as the video making capabilities of the A6500, for vlogging, I'm going to say stick with the 70D or 80D. Between the autofocus and the extended battery life and the flip out articulating screen, those things make capturing moments much less of a process, and that to me is more important than image quality. If you're making videos for a living, or if you want to make short films, A6500 is just an amazing little camera. It has several key features to help you get that cinematic look without breaking the bank. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I really love the camera, even though it has a couple quirks. Speaking of which, I think I have a solution for the battery life issue. Introducing the ultimate A6500 run and gun filmmaking rig. That said, I'm going to end this vlog / review here, and if you're interested in knowing exactly what this is, I'm going to link the video at the end. Actually, I'll link it right now, and if you made it this far, give me a thumbs up. Any questions, leave it below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.